Good afternoon. I am Madeline Berg, Director of Content at SeedWorld Group. With me today is Legacy Seeds' Mike Sankey. He is our research agronomist. Mike, thanks so much for making time for me. Can we start with you introducing yourself a little bit? Tell us about your history in agriculture and your role with Legacy.
Yeah, so my name is Mike Sankey. I am the research agronomist for Legacy Seeds here in Wisconsin. I office out of our research and learning center here in Waupaca. I was born and raised in central Wisconsin, right down the street in Amherst, about 20 minutes from where our research site is at. I'm not a farm kid. I didn't grow up on a farm, but growing up, I spent most of my time working on my family's farm or working on farms in my neighborhood. So I never was considered a farm kid, but I always spent most of my time being on the farm because that's really where I wanted to be. And that, really passion in agriculture led me to want to pursue a lifelong opportunity in agriculture. So I went to UW River Falls, Wisconsin, majored in ag business, minored in crops, and a few short years later, I'm back working in central Wisconsin, right where I wanted to be. So
Perfect. Whether you start off as a farm kid or you grow into it, we need good people in agriculture. So glad to have you. Okay, so you run Legacy's Research and Learning Center, the RLC, which I hear is a pretty state-of-the-art forage breeding facility and also home to Legacy showcase plots. As an agronomist, what's it like to work out of that facility?
yeah, so like you said, I work out of the RLC or Research and Learning Center here in Waupaca. I handle all the day-to-day operations out here. So whether that be planting, spraying, or just general plot upkeep, I take care of all those tasks myself along with my intern and the other employees that we have here. But out at the Research and Learning Center, the alfalfa team, they're breeding the alfalfa right in the greenhouses throughout the winter months. They're taking those plants, putting them outside, transplanting them for the summer. And then also here, besides the alfalfa lineup, we also have our corn and soybean lineup as well. So every corn product that we have in our lineup, you can almost guarantee that I'm going to have it out here at the RLC because that's where we're doing some of our corn silage testing, and I need all the products to be within the same plot so I can test against them. Because if we're going to bring in an experimental line, I need to have everything within our lineup and the experimentals to see if maybe we can replace, some of the products that we used to have. So
makes so much sense. Now, in terms of your total portfolio, you as a company are developing the alfalfa lines and the corn lines for forage. You also work with some partners for some of the other varieties. Am I right on that, especially triticale? Okay. So whether breeding or looking to partners for variety options, what work has Legacy done to sort of understand customers' needs in terms of herd health and nutrition?
the best thing about what we're doing, and I'll speak to the ration choice corn program first. Say there's 100 different corn products in our lineup, right? What we're doing is we're trying to separate that 100 varieties of corn, and let's say we're trying to take out half of them and say, okay, these ones aren't meant for the dairy farmer. Let's not take these and let's not lead with these to the dairy farmer. Let's figure out which ones would feed the best for the dairy farmer so they can try these products, or so we can try these products before they'll ever have to put the risk on their own with these products. So we'll be able to figure out, okay, this product's gonna have the best tonnage. This product's gonna have the best fiber digestibility. This product's gonna have the best starch and fiber digestibility. So we're looking at all these products, running through them with a fine-tooth comb. So at the end of the day, when the farmer buys a seed, he can rest assured that this product is gonna have a great place for his operation. We're trying to take some of that risk out for the farmer, because sometimes when a farmer buys a crop, the first hand or the first chance that they get to, kind of touch, feel, and see this product is when it's already on their farm. With the RLC and with what we're doing here, they're able to see these products, look at some of the feed samples that we're getting, and see if it'll fit their operation before they're taking all that risk.
Absolutely. Now, of course, your goal is not just to develop individual varieties that offer high performance, good nutrition, good yield. It's to offer complete nutritional packages. Am I right about that? Most of your customers would be looking for a blend, and at that, a custom blend?
Alongside of the corn silage program, we talk about the alfalfa program. I mean, that's really what the big thing that we're doing out here at the research and learning site. The alfalfa breeders come here every day. This is where they work. They're working out in the fields, determining what alfalfa lines are moving forward and which ones aren't. So other than the corn silage program, we're working with the alfalfa program. And then we also brought in, the Tri-Cal Superior Forage line as well. So like, if we can get farmers to grow all three of these different ingredients, so to speak, on the farm and do a really good job at doing it, they won't have to buy so much, say protein. If they can do a really good job making their own protein source, alfalfa on their own, then they don't have to buy it in the long run. And that makes them more profitable at the end of the day. And that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to customize the forage solution on the farm.
Is that a shift in thinking for producers, or are they already thinking along those lines?
I don't think a lot of companies are really thinking about that, but being based in Wisconsin with Legacy Seeds is rooted in Wisconsin. Like that's where my office is, central Wisconsin. There's a lot of dairy around here, and focusing on that business is crucial.
Okay, so are most dairy producers familiar with all three of these components, and these would be go-to components: the corn silage, alfalfa, and triticale as a three-part package?
I think farmers have been growing alfalfa for a long time. Farmers have been growing their own corn or corn silage for a long time. I think triticale is one of those things that we're kind of bringing in. A lot of farmers have used it in the past, but it's pretty new, I think. I think some of the customers, some of them have worked with it before, but it brings another avenue. Say, like if a farmer didn't meet their feed goals for the year, okay, well we have a solution for you. Let's plant some triticale to get some more tonnage off of those acreage, so you don't run out of feed come midsummer. It's just another solution we can bring to the farm that not every company has.
Perfect. Okay, now most people will be fairly familiar with the Legacy Seeds name in conjunction with alfalfa. I know that you have been in the alfalfa game for a very long time. In terms of the corn silage, your Ration Choice corn silage offers a couple of different options for producers, both on the nutritional end and also on the management end, how they might actually want to feed it. Can you speak a little bit about that?
With our Ration Choice line, basically it's normal corn. It's number 2 yellow corn that we have, like I said, kind of gone through with a fine-tooth comb to determine which products are going to feed the best on the dairy farm. So when it comes to like feeding normal corn or normal corn silage compared to like say BMR or Enogen corn silage, we don't have as much problem with say like fall slump, because normal corn silage or conventional corn silage ferments just a little bit quicker in the bunk than some of the alternatives that they have. So if a farmer is say short on feed a little bit, they don't need to wait those extra 3-4 months for their feed to ferment in the bunker in the silo. So it's a lot easier management overall for to grow a ration choice corn variety than some of the other alternatives out on the market right now.
Perfect. Okay. And they have the option of the leafy version. Is that right? There's a couple of different types of corn within that portfolio?
Yeah, so we do have a leafy line as well. So that's a little bit different. So those products are really high in fiber, really digestible fiber at that actually, and just a touch lower in starch. But that goes along with, okay, what is this farmer looking for an ingredient on their farm? Are they looking for really good fiber digestibility, not so much starch? Because maybe they grind their own corn on their farm and they blend that in to their ration on their own. Not all farmers do that, but we're like I said before, we're really trying to cater to whatever that dairy wants or needs on their farm. We'll have a solution for them.
Okay. So if I am a dairy producer and I am wanting to have the right fit for my farm, how do I choose between, you've got quite a portfolio of each of the categories. So the ration choice corn, the legacy seeds alfalfa, the tri-cal superior forage. How do we come up with the perfect blend for my specific operation?
Yeah, a lot of that goes down or comes down to like, okay, where is your operation based out of? So if you're in northern Wisconsin or southern Wisconsin, maturity group is going to be a really big deal. So, that's the first thing that we can do to narrow things down. And then it boils down to like soil type. So like if you're on really wet, heavy ground, okay, well, let's recommend this alfalfa variety because it has the branch rootedness, and it can handle that wet ground versus something that's got the taproot type system. And that's where our sales team, really comes to play here because they know their geography, they know the products that best fit their geography, and those are the people that are really going to be able to tailor a custom forage solution for your farm. Because what we're really trying to be is, the one-stop forage shop for these farms, and our salespeople out in the field, they're boots on the ground people. They know the products that they're comfortable selling. They know the products that are right for the area, and they're, like I said, they're really trying to come up with these custom forage solutions for every farm.
It strikes me that this is, I hesitate to use the word an old school way of feeding, but it's sort of a throwback to a time when there were maybe fewer additives, that the feed actually has to deliver the priorities for the farm. Is this sort of a high tech old school version?
Yeah, like I mentioned, like if we can get a farmer to grow their own protein source so they don't have to buy as much protein at the end of the day, that's a win on both sides. It's a win for us and it's a win for the farmer because then they don't have to buy as many of these, say third party ingredients. If they can grow what they need on their own, that's a win for both of us. So that's really what we're trying to do here.
Excellent. In terms of the customization, how familiar are producers with that? Is there a comfort level? Is there a learning curve that goes into developing something that really is unique for your operation?
Yeah, no two farms are the same. So every farm is different. They're all looking for different options. They all have a little bit different rotation. Some are really, stressed for acres, like they don't have enough acres to produce, all their needs, so they're buying. So every farm is a little bit different. So there's always some sort of customization, so to speak. So I think they're used to that. But we're trying to bring our suite of products to them and offer it so we can be their sole provider to them on the farm.
So makes it customized, but also really user friendly, easy to do. Okay, there's value there given how busy people are. What's the feedback that you get from customers, both in terms of the feed value, but also the agronomics?
I'd say we wouldn't be in the business if we didn't have, well-performing products, because we would have went out of business a long time ago if our products didn't perform. So our products are performing, and the feedback has been good. Not last year, but the year before, we won the grand champion corn silage sample at World Dairy Expo. Like, the results are speaking for themselves. We've seen some really high quality corn silage and haylage samples get sent through, and some of these farmers just can't believe how well they're doing. And it's actually come to the point at some of these farms, like they're kind of on edge a little bit when they're not getting a good forage sample, because they're so used to having such good high quality feed that they're making on their own. So when they have one that's not top of the line, yeah, it's still good, but compared to their operation, we've raised the bar with some of these people. So they're expecting excellence, really, and that's what we're trying to help them do. On their own, really.
And for a guy who is obviously passionate about agriculture, you've been passionate since you were a kid. That must feel pretty good to be making a meaningful difference for people.
Yeah, like, just thinking a tonnage alone, like if we can get someone from having to buy ingredients to now having those ingredients on their own, helping that farm be more profitable, and maybe even selling some of their product that they're making because now they have way too much, that's a win. Like, that success story, should be written down, for the record books, someday. So very satisfying industry to work in.
Absolutely. Mike, thank you for making time for me. Do you feel like we've captured the most important messages you want to get out to producers, or are there any other details that are definitely worth touching on?
No, like, the one thing I really want is to mention is, that we really want to partner with farmers to provide a custom forage solution for their operation. And like, they know, every farm is different. I don't think, farmers, they like doing stuff on their own. They don't like asking for help, but whether it be me or our sales staff, we want to help farmers do better. Like, that's what we wake up every day trying to do, is help people do better. And I think if farmers ask, we're going to be more than willing to help, out in the marketplace. So
Perfect. Thank you, Mike. Have a great afternoon. I sure appreciate you sharing all this information.